The rom-com cliches, they're all here with Diane Keaton and Richard Gere, Susan Sarandon and William H. Macy, Emma Roberts and Luke Bracey. Woo-hoo-hoo, they've all been done. Woo-hoo-hoo, they've all been done better. Woo-hoo-hoo, they've all been done before. Woo-hoo-hoo. Maybe I Do is now in theaters and comes to us from writer-director Michael Jacobs, who is most famously known for creating Boy Meets World, and also had a hand in Dinosaurs and the Sinbad Show. Remember when Sinbad had a show? Boy, those were the days. But yes, you have William H. Macy, Susan Sarandon, Richard Gere, Diane Keaton, Emma Roberts, Luke Bracey, and that's pretty much it. It's really just a one-act play with a bunch of rom-com cliches and some A-list actors. People that when they were in school they didn't have history, their social security number is 1. And it's kind of funny when you look at how this cast kind of ties together. I mean, Richard Gere, he, in movies with Julia Roberts, Runaway Bride and Pretty Woman, Won't You Walk With Me, Pretty Woman, I don't actually remember the rest of the words because I was kind of in a malaise while watching this. Why did I watch Maybe I Do in theaters? Because I was bored. Boredom got me here, so I was seated to watch a rom-com that has been done before. As I just said, very, very badly, and that very, very, very badly done musical intro that I'm becoming known for only because I decided just to have fun with reviews like this. Have fun with bad movies, good movies, or indifferent movies, such as Maybe I Do. Basically, 2 longtime couples, Susan Sarandon and William H. Macy, as well as Diane Keaton and Richard Gere. They're in long-term relationships, long-term marriages, as most marriages are, most relationships are. And they basically, more marriages of convenience at this point. They've kind of drifted apart, even though they do love each other. That's kind of what happens sometimes. Even when you deeply love somebody that you knew from a very early age, your first love or your ultimate love, you just want to be with them, but sometimes you just want to go out, you want to see somebody else. That happens with these respective people. And then that factors into something when their kids come together, Emma Roberts and Luke Bracey, basically coming together to get married, and there you go. They have to figure out, hey, our marriages, were they really all that bad? Just because there were certain issues, that doesn't mean we don't love each other and all that. And rom-com, sappiness, malaise, and kind of suckers you in by having some decent dialogue. I mean, look, let's be honest. All these actors have been in far, far better things. I actually forgot that Luke Bracey and Emma Roberts were in Holiday together, which is weird because Holiday actually was a lot better than this, a lot more endearing. This movie isn't bad, let me just say that right now, but it is basically a one-act play. It takes place in a few locations initially and then just centers around one particular house, meaning that the bulk of the money was spent on the cast. And there you have a rom-com. There isn't much to this. I will say Susan Sarandon gets off a few witty remarks. At one point, talking to Luke Bracey, plays her son, saying, well, about marriages, that, at 40, at the oldest of 46, somebody would die and you'd move on or whatever, but then till death do us part need a rewrite after penicillin, which is a pretty good line. And Susan Sarandon, very good actress. Very, very good. Diane Keaton, she's just endearing. Richard Gere is Richard Gere, just without the gerbil, allegedly. William H. Macy really has had a very good career. In fact, all these 4 very, very, long in the tooth veterans have had very good careers. Up and down, all around, come on defense work. Emma Roberts, if you can ignore the fact that there's stuff with her and Evan Peters and that she was the instigator in that stuff. And Luke Bracey basically sounds and looks like a country star that just got taken out of shrink wrap out of a factory. It's actually not all that bad, but I'm not going to say that this movie is great. And in fact, there were many points where I was wondering, if it hadn't been for the goddamn cast, would this movie have not gone directly to streaming? And I even question, I go, and at this state of their careers, even though some of these people are great, why wouldn't this have just gone directly to streaming? That's pretty much it. Now, there will be spoilers in this, but you probably can figure out based on the plot, where all this is going and where all the conflict is going to come. None of it is new. None of it is original. There are a few endearing moments, but the movie's also uneven because it focuses here, focuses here, focuses here, and then we're gonna focus here, and then we just forget about this, and we put it the hell over there, and we go over here. That's pretty much it. Maybe I Do isn't all that bad. If you have a sweetheart, good for you. I hope that you guys have a great relationship. Honestly, I went and watched this as a single person because I was bored, because I'm bound and determined to watch as many movies as possible in theaters when I'm bored. Can't watch every single thing, but nevertheless. I've seen worse. I've seen better. This was no My Best Friend's Wedding, which actually had life and energy and enthusiasm. But as far as comfort food, as far as like a nice blanket and a cup of cocoa and watching something that you could just basically watch. It's a Hallmark movie, is star power, essentially. That's pretty much it. So yeah, it's in theaters if you want to watch it. Otherwise, it'll be on streaming probably within 2 months, if not sooner. Yeah. Other than that, everybody's fine in this. It's fine. It's inoffensive and it's fine. 3, 2, 1, and spoilers. Okay, so you're in the spoiler section. We start off with Susan Sarandon and Richard Gere in a hotel room. And it turns out that they're not actually married. And then we cut to Diane Keaton and we cut to William H. Macy meeting up in a small movie theater. And they chat and everything. They even have this one point where they're going to get this room by the hour hotel to possibly do something. Nope, they get a bucket of chicken. They get a 6-pack of, I believe, some kind of soda, I think. I don't actually really know. And then they just chat in the hotel room because why the hell not? Richard Gere is still with Susan Sarandon, who's all dressed to the nines and everything. She looks great for being in her 70s, I do have to say that. Richard Gere decides, we've met multiple times and everything, this kind of stuff. I got to go home to my wife. And Susan Sarandon, who is named after Hogan's favorite word, Monica, think about it. Now stop thinking about it. Hulk, no, don't do that. If you have no idea what happened with Hulk Hogan, you are just very, very confused. Susan Sarandon basically vows vengeance, vows the fact that she is going to kill Richard Gere. And also we have Emma Roberts and Luke Bracey, who, well, let's just say Emma Roberts was at a friend's wedding. She was going to catch the bouquet, as it were. I know it's bouquet, but just work with me here. I'm trying. And Luke Bracey catches it in the ha. No, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make it a big production. And that kind of leads to an argument where she's thinking that maybe he's afraid of commitment, even though he does love her, that there's a reason why maybe he's afraid of marriage, not afraid of marrying her, but afraid of the concept of marriage, because he sees how his parents are. And Emma Roberts has, this great idea of marriage and everything. It was put in her head from an early age with her parents. And then suddenly they come up with the idea, okay, wait a second, we do love each other. Let's have our parents meet for dinner. Well, guess who the parents are? The parents were seeing each other because Diane Keaton and Richard Gere are married and Susan Sarandon and William H. Macy are married. There you go. That's it. That's it right there. That's it. And then we get awkwardness and comedy and coming to grips with the fact that, yeah, you shouldn't cheat in a relationship. Not that I'll cast stones because I've never been, the most loyal person. I'll just say that right now. I'm not saying that makes it okay. I'm just being honest here because I don't really give a shit because none of my exes are watching this. They all knew anyway. Moving on. A few decently funny lines, a lot of socially awkward, moments and everything. Because they had to figure out, okay, how do we find a way to, not reveal what happens while helping our kids? Because Diane Keaton and Richard Gere have Emma Roberts. And Luke Bracey is the son of Susan Sarandon and William H. Macy. And from there, we just get a movie. We get a movie that plays out. Everybody's relationships end up working out for good, bad, or indifferent. Even though William H. Macy, I think, had him and Susan Sarandon had the best one because they were a marriage of convenience. Even though they say they don't hate each other, but they kind of do. But they also recognize that there are good qualities to each other. They get some witty lines off. And Diane Keaton being her endearing self. It's fine. It's fine for what it is. There you go. That's really all I have to say about Maybe I Do. By the way, Emma Roberts and Luke Bracey get married. Because of course they do. We're just going to continue to do this every few years with rom-coms. Because why not? It gets, fuck it. It gets a C+. There were moments that were fine. I'm not going to say that this movie is the absolute worst goddamn thing. Yes, it's a lot of rom-com cliches. Yes, it's a lot of the shit that's all been done, as I just said. But this was inoffensive. This didn't offend me like Shotgun Way, and there's so many other rom-coms, or like Marry Me, which was really egregiously bad. So yeah, C+. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rickland. I'll see you soon.